Welcome into Chic and Ball. I'm your host, Els, live in Cleveland. Thank you again for tuning in and watching. On today's show, we look back at the 2024 season for the Connecticut Sun. And we're going to start with the team's overall performance and head coach Stephanie White. The Connecticut Sun won the most games in franchise history after finishing with a record of 28-12. The team was first in defense, but 8th in offense. They beat the Indiana Fever in the first round of the playoffs and lost to the Minnesota Lynx in the semifinals. Head coach Stephanie White, in her second season as head coach, had the two winningest seasons in franchise history because she also won 27 games in her first year in 2023. Sadly, that somehow got her fired, but she'll be returning to coach the Indiana Fever in 2025. And I say returning because she was the head coach in Indiana back in 2015 and 2016, and in one of those years, she took the team to the finals. That was actually her first year as a WNBA head coach. Then she took a break from the W and coached the Vanderbilt Commodores from 2016 to 2021. And if she can get that Indiana Fever team to play defense like this Connecticut team, they will be back in the finals. Now we're going to talk about every player that's suited up in the Connecticut Sun uniform, and we're going to start with Celeste Taylor. She only played in 2 games for Connecticut. She made the only field goal attempt she took, which makes her 1,000% from the field in her Connecticut Sun career. She only played on a 7-day contract, so I give her credit for showing up. And the one thing about her game that's been translating is her ability to get steals. Celeste Taylor played in a total of 146 college games and got a total of 296 steals, which is a 2 steal per game average. In 22 WNBA games, she got 15 steals, and that's on 3 different teams, 3 different coaches, and I think once she get a real chance, she could lead the league in that category. Now let's talk about Queen Egbo. Similar to Celeste Taylor, she also played on 3 different teams in 2024. She played in 3 games for the Connecticut Sun, didn't get to show much and only 2 minutes per game. She'll get a chance to play for the Las Vegas Aces in 2025. Now let's talk about Caitlin Bickle. Played in 8 games for the Connecticut Sun, only averaged 2 minutes a game, which is embarrassing. I mean, why even put her in the game at that point? She didn't score a basket in 3 total field goal attempts. The only stat to her name in 2024 was a personal foul. Now let's talk about Moriah Jefferson. Played in 9 games for the Connecticut Sun, and Mo just hasn't looked as good as we all thought she was. She was really good at UConn, but she's been on the WNBA journey after being the 2nd pick in the draft. She hasn't really lived up to that pick, and she played on 6 WNBA teams since her debut back in 2016. Now let's talk about Astou Ndour-Fall. 6'5" player from Senegal, was drafted back in 2014, won the championship with the Chicago Sky back in 2021, played in 22 games for the Connecticut Sun, averaged 1 point and 4 minutes a game. Now let's talk about Rachel Banham. One of my favorite players in the league because she can shoot the hell out of the basketball. She's strong on defense. She's not that fast, but she plays with IQ. She played in 21 games for Connecticut, averaged 5 points before being traded to Chicago. Now let's talk about Tiffany Mitchell. Played the first 7 seasons of her career in Indiana, then she played 1 year in Minnesota, then played in Connecticut in 2024. She played in 24 games and averaged 5 points in 16 minutes, and she signed a contract to join the Las Vegas Aces roster for 2025. Before we get to the next player, if you haven't noticed, we've added 2 new playlists to our channel, one for our team reviews and one for mock drafts. So if you missed a show about your favorite teams, now it's easier for you to find it, and you can go back and look at some old shows and see how your team did in past years. With that being said, let's get back to the show and talk about Veronica Burton. Played in 31 games for Connecticut, improved her 3-point percentage from 27% in 2023 to 35% in 2024. Only averaged 3 points in 12 minutes a game, and she'll be playing for the Golden State Valkyries in 2025. Now let's talk about Marina Mabrey. Played in 16 games for Connecticut, all but 3 of those games off the bench, which is weird after being a starter in Chicago the last 4 seasons. Finished top 5 in 6 Women of the Year voting. She still hasn't been granted her trade request, which she asked for after the 2024 season. She averaged 15 points on 46% shooting from the field and 42% from 3. Now let's talk about Brionna Jones. Played and started in all 40 games for Connecticut, made the All-Star team for the 2nd time, averaged 13 points on 54% shooting from the field. We can now say she's fully recovered from the Achilles tear, 27 minutes a game even with being on a minutes restriction, and after 8 seasons in Connecticut, she signed with the Atlanta Dream for the 2025 season. Now let's talk about Alyssa Thomas. One of 3 players who played and started in all 40 games for Connecticut, she averaged 10 points on 50% shooting from the field, finished the year with 14 double-doubles and 3 triple-doubles, averaged 8 rebounds and 8 assists, made the All-Star team, first team All-WNBA, All-Defensive second team, and she'll be playing in Phoenix, where they formed the new Big 3 with herself, Satou Sabally, and Kahleah Copper. Now let's talk about Tyasha Harris. Played in 39 games for the Connecticut Sun. Her first time as a full-time starter, she averaged 10 points on 42% shooting from the field, 39% from 3. Also, a career-high 3 assists. She's finally showing the talent that we saw at South Carolina. She was traded to the Dallas Wings, where she'll team up with Paige and Enrique in 2025. Now let's talk about DeWanna Bonner. Played and started in all 40 games for Connecticut, averaged 15 points on 41% from the field, shot just 29% from 3, but she hit a lot of big threes in big moments. She made the All-Star team for the 6th time in her career, and DeWanna Bonner missed the 2017 season when she had her twins, so technically she's going into year number 17, but that will be with Caitlin Clark in the Indiana Fever. Now let's talk about Olivia Nelson-Ododa. Played in 37 games for Connecticut. She's the only player from this 2024 team that's going to be on this team in 2025. I think she might actually get a chance to start as well because they also bring back Tina Charles. And I think those two can play really good together. Both from UConn, both play for Geno, and Tina has been really good with teaching young bigs how to play big in the WNBA. But for Olivia Nelson-Ododa, she averaged 3 points on 49% shooting in 2024, and I just know that she can play a whole lot better than that. Now let's talk about DiJonai Carrington. Had a breakout season after being a full-time starter for the first time, won the Most Improved Player award, made the All-Defensive First Team, averaged 12 points on 40% shooting. And I was thinking, if there was a do-over of the 2021 draft where DiJonai went number 20 in the second round, she would probably be the number 1 pick overall. From that draft, the only players that are actually contributing on teams right now, Michaela Onyenwere, Dana Evans, Ari McDonald, Maya Caldwell, and Natasha Mack. And I would take DiJonai over all of them, all due respect. That being said, she is a top 5 overall talent, and she's proved herself as a face of the WNBA. She'll be taking her talents to Dallas after being traded with Ty Harris. She'll be pairing up with her significant other, Alyssa Smith, and of course, Paige Beckers and Enrique Ogunbowale. But there you have it, another episode of Chic and Ball. If you made it this far in the show, please like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and comment your thoughts on the Connecticut Sun or anything in the world of women's basketball. That's all I'll say for now. Thank you again for listening and watching. I'm Els for PR&M. Talk to you on the next one.